This is how I know that I don't have schizophrenia. Voice-to-skull technology, or V2K, is 50 years old and uses microwaves to transmit audio up to hundreds of yards away through barriers to a person's skull. At the lowest volume, it is indistinguishable from thought. It can also control and manipulate one's speech also.
And then they started talking with me. And I thought, maybe I'm going schizophrenic or something. Like, I didn't really know much about schizophrenia. The really important thing is, they were like, the guy in 301 that we just did Simon Says with, he's got your phone, he hacked your Google account. It appeared that he had, and that he had my phone. My phone was in a radius that was within his room, or the room above, or in the immediate vicinity outside of his room. And an email address that linked to 2 Facebook profiles and 1 Google Plus profiles that appeared to be him. I think
that email address was used to hack my Google account. So once again, I do not have the power of premonition. I could not have predicted that the guy in 301 had my stolen phone or hacked my Google account. I could not have suspected that or guessed that, even in a paranoid, delusional, schizophrenic state. So that proved within a month of hearing these voices that they were from real people and that I was not schizophrenic. I was not in denial. Additionally, schizophrenia does not hit someone at age 41 without a history of mental illness. That rarely happens. There was one time when I was at the Studio 6 and I was with someone there and they were saying faggot, and I saw the recognition in his eyes and I was like, you heard that, right? You heard that. And we were standing very close to each other in the hotel room and he was like, yeah, I heard that. I was like, they're calling us faggots, and he laughed about it. So that's another reason how I know that I'm not schizophrenic, because he heard those voices too. So once again, I was standing next to someone very closely and they also heard the voices as I heard the voices. That also proves that I'm not schizophrenic. Within a week of moving in, and I was walking Max around the building, and they were like, ooh, we're gonna drop a meth pipe in your bush. And right when I turned around the corner, like seconds later, I saw 2 girls walking by my apartment in the opposite direction, or I guess in the same direction that I was walking in. And they were like, we're gonna drop a meth pipe in your bush. And not the girls, but the voices. And I saw the girl dip down and it looked like she was dropping something or picking something up near my bushes, but I didn't see anything. They were like, ooh, we're gonna call the police and say there's a meth pipe in your bush and we're gonna get you arrested. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. In Travis County Correctional Complex, they told me I was gonna run into Micah, and lo and behold, I got moved. So Micah came up and he was there. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. In jail, I did a journal, December 4th, 2017. At 1:23 p.m., I heard, is it hard to breathe? And then suddenly it felt like there were 1,000 little hands pushing on my chest, and then it was. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Then they said, reach for the stars. And this was just as an officer walked by that had a star tattoo on his elbow. I'd never noticed that before until they said that. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Another day, they said, are your ears hurting? And then suddenly they are. And then a high frequency tone just started being broadcast to my head. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Another day, they said, we'll just pound your balls. And then they just did. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Another day, they said, fake heart rate increases dramatically. And then my heart rate increased dramatically. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Another day, they said, let's turn on the heat wave. And then it felt like a heat lamp was on my face. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Another day, they said, we can make you throw up like Epicac syrup. And then I felt a heat lamp, the scalp chill, and the throat pressure, causing a burp that was almost a verp, almost made me vomit. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Another day, I was reading the Dark Tower series, and they oftentimes read along with me aloud while I was reading the book. And oftentimes they would read ahead. And then one day in particular, they read ahead when the text was on the other side of the page. So I thought that was important to note because I couldn't even see that in my peripheral vision. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Another day while I was writing my journal, they mentioned to me explicitly that I had forgotten to mention in my journal before that when I was on the bus coming back from court, that they mentioned the word easy. And then when I glanced to my left after they said that, I saw a sign that said easy something. And they made a big, whoop-de-doo about that. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Ooh, 1341. Hey, Kip, you're going to see 1431 come up. You used to work off of 1431, right? You're going to see that come up a couple of times. Oh, look, Kip, we told you there was going to be a 1341 and a 1431 come up. Actually, there's going to be 2 1431s that come up. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Ooh, Kip, look, there's another 1431. We told you there are going to be 2 of them coming up. How would we know that? Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. So my sister has a figurine of a poodle that was in her trailer that I had moved into. And when I walked in the trailer one day, they had me focus on it. And they were like, ooh, we're going to use that poodle as a reference later tonight.
And there are too many years left, and I don't know what to do. Get a poodle.
Once again, I don't have the power of premonition.
Look, we're going to start doing a Tourette's attack on him. And we find this so hilarious. Hey, Carrie, hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Hey, we're going to start doing a Tourette's attack on him, Carrie. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're shocking the left side of his face.
Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Electrolasers are a type of direct energy weapon that basically shoot an invisible laser that can penetrate through barriers. It can cause vibrations and shocks, mild or severe. It can cause jabs, and it can literally push a body part or your entire body. It can have no temperature at all, or it can have a warmth or a burning to it. And it can also cause a freezing sensation or freezing burns. Like, you call it a migraine, we'll give you a migraine, then all of a sudden my whole fucking face starts to hurt. Once again, they said, we'll give you a migraine, and the pain increased in my head. That is not my brain manifesting voices because it detects that there is an impending migraine, nor do I have the power of premonition. Plus, I can block the pain with my hand, as I demonstrate here. I can put my hand up like that. My hand's in pain now because it's been blocking the targeted energy beam. They just said, we're going to kick it up a notch. And it feels like I've got jolts of electricity going through the left side of my body. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. And they said earlier, like, we're going to focus on your knee. And they have been zapping my knee like a motherfucker. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. All I've been doing was sitting at my desk typing. Look at that fucking lump there. And it hurts. And I can do that. And now my hand hurts. Like, look at this. Like, look at my fucking knee. Like, look at this fucking knee. They said that they were going to cause me to have a mimicked asthma attack. Hey, Kip, they said we could give you an asthma attack. You can control the breathing, too. Just by shocking your diaphragm. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. Now they're saying, hey, Kip, tell them that we're going to make you start doing facial tics. So we're going to start doing facial tics. This is involuntary. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. And the rest of my channel is pretty much documenting these wacky projections that started around the same time as the voices and the pain. It was when I was at the Grove, on my birthday actually. Before I left jail, they kept bringing up Clyde like a motherfucker over and over and over again. And he's on the soundboard, he's also on the visual board. And they kept projecting his face. Well, after my birthday in 2018, I found out Clyde died. And immediately after that, they did the visual board with Clyde. So around the time that Clyde died, unbeknownst to me, they were projecting images of Clyde's face into my eyes while I was in jail. Once again, I don't have the power of premonition. And I don't have sight beyond sight.
We saw his phone number, a portion of his phone number, 6 out of the 7 digits of his local phone number in the game that he's playing.
So they're freaking out over this one because this is almost my phone number. 484-4247 is my phone number.
The odds of that happening are like 1 in a million.
And I also didn't beat the odds of winning the lottery. To say that I am thinking irrationally or that I'm crazy is actually irrational in itself. Because you would have to believe that I had the power of premonition and sight beyond sight and had the luckiest chances of winning the lottery. Not to mention the witnesses and the other victims that I have on record and the mountain of evidence. Plus, my camera's not going through psychoses either.